Hi, my name is Kaya and welcome to yet another podcast. It's been a while since I've podcasted, so please excuse me if I'm a bit nervous or mix things up or forget something. So when did I podcast the last time? It was like almost 2 years ago. March, April, something like that. And that's when I got started with a new job, and somehow that took a lot of my energy. And in parallel, I did my truck and trailer driver's license for a volunteer job I have, and then things were always a bit crazy, and I didn't prioritize it. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, so it's been a while. Welcome back. I hope you enjoy it. I have a lot of things to show you. Part of the reason why I didn't podcast again was I didn't know where to start, because I finished quite a lot of things. I started a lot of things. I got some yarn. Lots of things happened, so I really didn't know where to start. So then Angela of Yarns or Rainbow Ange did her annual 12 Cast Ons make along last year. Again, she always starts on December 24th and goes until end of January. And you can cast on as many projects as you want, up to 12. And I thought that might be the reason to start again. And also, to have a starting point. And I was planning to podcast why I started things, but it just didn't work out. So, now I can show you 12 new cast ons, more than 12 new cast ons, some finished objects, some plans for 2026, of which some are already no longer realistic. So everything is as usual. And that should be it roughly. I think so. We'll find out later. Yeah. So let's start with the finished objects, which will be quite a quick thing. My first finished object are the Minecraft socks. I have my tablet over here so I can peek who is the designer. And those are a design by Heather Cox. And it's a free pattern. I use my usual 60 stitch count. And this is a Lana Grossa Mayan White Vegano sock yarn, weekend sock yarn. And I have no clue what's the colorway. Let me check. I will also link all of my projects in the comments down or in the description box down below. So it's Lana Grossa Mayan White 100% Cotono Vegano Arancia. And the colorway is 6176. 60 stitches. Quite a mindless pattern. Not blocked yet, but looks quite nice even though. And I think I knit them again, and they are for me, but not worn yet. Yes. The second project is something a lot of people have already knit, and that's the Musselburgh by Ysolda Teague. And I knitted out of Trailhead Yarns Appalachian Trail, which are no longer dyeing for quite a while, or at least they only dyeing yarn for cross stitching, etc. And this has been their sock yarn, and that's the colorway is a party, and that's the colorway I don't know anymore. Darkest Night. And those are the leftovers of my staff lecture, which I made quite a few years ago. And I had so much yarn left that I thought, okay, let's knit a matching hat. I have still something left, but sometimes I swap yarn with my friends, but I just love this colorway so much I couldn't part, so here we go. It's a tiny bit too large and not locked yet, but since it's double knit somewhat, because you knit a large tube, I don't feel like knitting this again, so I will give it a block and then it will be just a bit too large, so who cares. And you can switch it up. I think most of you know how this is working, so you can wear it either way around. Yeah, quite a mindless knit once you made the increases and before you get to the decreases. Those are my finished objects of this year so far. I didn't finish anything else yet because I have so many Cast Ons on which I've been working. But one might be finished soon. So let's get to the 12 Cast Ons. As I just said, it's Make Along by Angela, which she hosts on her YouTube channel, Yarn Yarns. Is the name of the channel, or is it Rainbow Eng? Either way, I will link it. And I think it's the first time I joined the Make Along, and I really, really enjoy it because, well, I can cast on a lot of things. I have always a lot of things on my needles. Sometimes I frog them after a while, but doesn't really disturb me or annoy me to have a lot of projects most of the time. Maybe it's a bit too much right now, but okay, who really cares as long as I have space and headspace and space in my flat. Yeah. So I said 12 Cast Ons, and I did 12 Cast Ons, but I did somehow stretch the plan a bit. I'm not alone. Angela did too. So what I did is, for my first day of the 12 Cast Ons, my plan is to cast on 12 pairs of socks over the course of the year, and to use patterns I already own for them, either in a book or digitally, except for the first one. And so for day one, I've cast on 2 pairs of socks, which I can show you today. And once one of them is done, I will cast on another pair for this part of the Make Along. And the pattern, which I didn't have yet, but I really wanted to make, and I blame Angela because she made these socks and they just look too cute. I will pop in a picture here, and those are the vintage Christmas Bauble socks by Grey Owl Knits, and the designer name is Sarah Kelly. And these are basically socks with a little cable pattern at the cuff, and then you knit Christmas baubles. So this is where I got on day one. I'm still not the best color work knitter, but I guess I only get better if I practice. And the yarns are all vegan yarn in the colorway magenta. Is that right? No, it's not all vegan yarn. That's wrong. Is it? Yeah, it's wrong. So this is vegan yarn magenta. The contrast is brown speckles, also by vegan yarn. And the main color is Start at 48 by veganYarn.co.uk. So it's all the same base. Yeah. So far it was quite a lot of fun. I hope I add a few rows every now and then to get it going. and it's really a lovely pattern, which was the only one I bought for this part of the first castle. The second one I've cast on is a pattern also for day one. It's a pattern I already owned, and this is, I'm just wondering why I have cross stitch yarn over here. There might be a reason, I don't know why. Okay, anyhow, don't get distracted. This is day 2, and no, day 1, and those are the camp out socks in the cuff down way by it won't be any better, by Carly Parents. I think she's a Canadian designer and has some really nice patterns. And this is a set, Socks Gone Camping, I think is the name of the set I bought last year. And you can get all of the sets either cuff down or bottom up or toe up. And the yarn is this beautiful colorway, and it's an Acacia sock by Terrapin Fiberworks in the colorway Acacia. I saw this colorway and I had to get it. There was not really any other options. One of my favorite colorways of hers so far. And I know it's a bit of a hassle to get some yarn from the US, especially with customs and import duties and shipping, but there are not too many European plant-based dyers anyhow, and not too many I really like, so I prefer to buy less and get those colorways I really love. So that's one of them. So it's still day 1, Camp Out Socks by Carly Parents. What I forgot. I wanted to be a reasonable podcaster. Let's see how long I will stick to it. And add a marker to the project so I know where I've been next time. So that's one. This stitched marker I got from my friend Yvonne of Strickeduke. And she got some stitch markers in the US and it says boards. I thought it was really stupid. I like it. Humor. Yeah. Let's add a stitch marker over here. So next time, or progress creeper, I might know what I've done or didn't do. So this is number 1, part 1. I feel this will be a long podcast, so if that's not your jam, I can't do anything about it. So number 2, Camp Out Socks. This little kitty, super cute. So this is day 1. For day 2, I've cast on Baker's Twine. Did I say anything about the project bags? So this is a project bag by Yvette Baumann, which was, I think, in a box or an advent by the Athenian Maker, who is a Greek dyer of mostly plant-based yarns, and she's Aida's doing natural dyeing. This is back by Yvette Baumann. The only thing I don't like is how the closure, whatever, because it's always bending a bit open. Inside, it's cool. Apart from that, I like it. This is 2022 Empire bag by Stephen Nitz. It was the only time I bought a kit. I guess it was the only time they had some plant-based yarns as a kit. And the yarn inside was Isaiah Bolin, and I didn't finish the M-card because I just didn't like it. I don't even know the name right now. This is a bag by Terrapin Fiberworks, which was part of the New Year's Countdown box 2025. And inside is my second day, and that's the Baker's Twine. Those are pot holders. By Ducati, Katharina Dun. I've knit them before, and you basically use 2 strands of yarn, and quite a simple pattern, quite effective, quite a dense fabric. I have some stitches, a holder, and yeah, I can only recommend it. I've knit it before, I enjoyed it. It's a bit hard on your hand because it's so dense, but those are really nice pot holders. And the yarn is, this is Catania Baschachemeyer in the colorway 248. And this is Srepius Katona in yeah. In the colorway 244. I think it's called Blue Spruce or something like that. Yeah. Let's add a stitch marker. Let's add this balloon dog. Progress keeper, of course. Oh. Day 2. I wanted to make them for quite a while, and we really need some pot holders because I have some store-boughts which are super ugly and used up, but well, there are other things to work on. Day 3 is, if your name is, if you're a friend of mine who just had a baby in January, just don't watch this part. If I don't forget, or in case you're watching, I will put a time span down here. Otherwise, if you want to spoil yourself, do what you gotta do. I won't recommend. This is a project bag by Schneider's Knit, and I had it for quite a while. Really love it, good size, and I love the colors. And in here is a travel mode baby blanket by Susanne Sommer, and this is the second one. I made one for another friend, which is already done and waiting to be shipped, but I really felt like I want to make a picture of both of them at the same time, so I didn't ship it, the first one yet. So this is the way it looks. And the other one is just inverted, so everything that's beige ochre is red and everything that's blue is green, the other way around. Yeah, I was almost done with the last part here, but then I thought, oh, somehow my decreases look wrong because they look like this and not like this. As you can see, on the left and right side they look the same, and on the bottom on the top they look different. And I didn't think about it and frogged it, the last part, and then I realized they can look the same because those are increases here and not decreases, so yeah, it's not working. It was a bit stupid, so I have to knit this one hard again. And after day 1 of the 12 Cast Ons, I was, because that's how you do it usually, you cast something on, work on it for a day, and then you cast on the next thing. So, but I already continued with this one. So after day 1, I did the first beige party, and then I got up to here on the green one. So I cannot take it off because I've showed you. and next time this will be finished. So I only need the last part here, and then I need the I-cord all the way around, and then I have to weave in all the ends, which I didn't do yet, unfortunately. This is the Travel Mode Baby Blanket by Susanne Sommer. I don't know, did I tell you? I really love the pattern. The only part I don't like is that there's one side where the increases look different than all the decreases in the other side. So that's something my inner perfectionist doesn't like too much. And if you want to see, this is how it looks. It's done with a bit different color combo. Really lovely pattern blanket, and easy to knit. You do have to pay attention sometimes, which I don't always do because there's been some frogging involved, but it's really lovely to knit. And I would do it again. And the yarn I'm using is Rosarius 4 Atlantico. Oh, this is all in unpaid ad. If I got something gifted, I will tell you, that's really rare. Rosarius Atlantico. And the gray contrast over here in the middle is this yarn. This is Rosario Erica Knight Gossipum Cotton Tweed. Yeah, and color ways are listed on my Ravelry page. Yeah. Next time this will be done, and hopefully it won't be here anymore. Was my day 3. Day 4 is a bit of a nightmare. I don't know. I had this project on my list for quite a while for my parents' previous dog, and then he died, and then they got a new dog last year as well. Pattern for quite a while, but it was just somehow on my list, and then last year I've been to a knit weekend with some friends, and then there was a yarn shop where they had this yarn, and to be honest, I've cast it on twice. This is Rico Design Creative Petit Lapin Super Chunky, and it's a Momo pet bed by Carmen Jurissen of New Leaf Designs. And one side is in this crazy yarn, which is a nightmare to crochet. I think it might be better if you knit it, because then you don't have to find your stitches. And so basically it's a circle you crochet, and I try to crochet around every other day, so I won't forget what I did, and have all those markers so I don't get confused and put too many stitches there. So it's basically just a circle on one side, and I will continue until I've used up all the yarn. This is the second one. I have a third one, and then on the other side, in the pattern, yarn used in the pattern is Srepia Stonewashed XL, and I will be using some leftovers of Srepia Stonewashed, this normal size, and we'll just use it with 2 strands, and so I can use up some, not really scraps, but some bigger leftovers which are not enough for any other project. They are leftovers from some blankets I crocheted. Yeah, so this is one side, and once this one is done, I will do the other one, But yeah, that's something I will keep on working right now because I don't want to forget what I did and lose the momentum on it. And it's a pain to work. I think the needle size is 6mm hook, and it's, I don't know, it's not really fun to make, but it will be done soon. And then my parents' new dog, she's 4 months old right now, baby. She's crazy. She's so cute but crazy. Or my in-laws' dog, or the Dachshund dog. Is that right? Dachshund? The Dachshund of some friends. They can use a pillow. Let's see. Yeah. Number 5 is The Distant Scarf by Olga Plutano. And my if I remember, I will put in some pictures of the projects where you couldn't see that much. This is how far I got. And this is also some yarn I bought at the knit weekend. And it's my friend chose it, who just got a baby, who gets a blanket. I want to have something for her as well, and not just a baby. So once I'm done with the blanket, I will continue working, or let's be honest, really start working on this small scarf. And the yarn I'm using is Mandarin Petite by Sandnes Garn in the colorway 9041. Yeah. So this will get some attention once I'm done with the blanket, and yeah, then I will also knit a sweater for the bigger sister of the baby. I don't know, the bag I got years ago by a different knitter. I think she collected for some money for a cause, which I can't remember anyway. But I really like using this one. I have a second one in the same pattern. Not the fabric, but the pattern. So day 6 was... what I'm wearing is the Tallulah tee by Herb Garn Knitwear in Sandnes Garn Line in an off-white. And I knit this in a test quite 1 to 2 years ago, maybe, I don't know. And I really like to wear it. I like the pattern, I like the way it's written. It's comfortable to wear. The only thing is it's a bit too warm for summer, so it doesn't get as much wear as I would prefer for it to get. But it's really a well-written pattern, and I also like the yarn, so but maybe it's a bit too warm for summer. But apart from that, I can really recommend the pattern if you're looking for a size-inclusive pattern. So day 6, it's the same from the same person, just different fabric. And this is Billie the raccoon. I made a duck, I made an orangutan, and one is gifted, one will be gifted, and then I thought maybe it's time for us to have a toy, even though we don't need a toy, but this will be Billie the Raccoon from Mouche and Friends by Cynthia Vallée. So it's, I don't know, is there a picture? Yeah, this is the way it looks. Super cute. Billie the Raccoon, I didn't get it far yet because I think I did something stupid while starting. And the yarn I'm using is Lana Grossa Diversa in what's fingering weights. They say sport. I think it's more of a fingering in cotton and viscose. So here's some pants and a sweater, and those are the other colorways I will be using, and a red. Cool. So will be striped sweater and some pants, and this is just some undyed playards, so vegan sock yarn for the contrast. This won't be a priority for a while, to be honest. Day 7 is the Dahlia Sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl, which is a failed test because I don't know, there have been too many things going on. I just didn't make it. Yeah. So I think it's the first time I didn't make a test. Yeah, really. Yeah, not the way I would like it to be, but I couldn't change it. And that's once again a project built by Schneider's Knit. And maybe it was also the gauge because I wasn't sure I can really reach it, even though I did a swatch. Something was strange. I don't know. Anyhow, so this is my swatch. It's a yarn combination of Pasquale Suave I had in stash for quite a while, and Sandnes Garn Trimline in the colorway 6080. This one. And Suave, I don't have a ball band right now. Yeah. What I used a different dye lot for the neck band, and then I switched because I realized I used the dye lot of which I have the least instead of that one, and didn't use a different one, as I used a dye lot of which I only have 2 or 3 balls, and this won't be enough for the whole sweater, so I switched after the neckband as I realized it's the wrong dye lot to use, because as you can see there's a huge difference in the different dye lots. That's really, I don't know. I had this large discrepancy so far only with Sandnes Garn. Yeah, it's really a lot. So that's why I started with this one, and I realized, okay, that's the wrong one because I don't have that much of this dye lot, and then I switched to this one. And maybe I should show you. And I've previously started an knitted cardigan by Petite Knit, also quite a long time ago. I think I will knit it again because I got the pattern already, but it didn't work out for this yarn combination. But I won't be buying any dyed patterns, hopefully, anymore, and only the ones I have from Petite Knit, because there are other designers that are more inclusive. Anyhow, I think I only knit the neckband maybe on the day I cast it on, but it's a bit all over the place today. Sorry. So this is it's a raglan sweater, and with a lace pattern on the front. Quite cute. I hope it will work out with this yarn combination, but so far it looks quite nice. Yeah, I would have to get going and see how it really looks after a while. But as the deadline is already over, it's not a priority anymore. So, yeah. It is what it is. Let's put a stitch marker in here. Maybe one I won't miss too much, because I don't know when I will pick it up again. So, this is where I are right now. Where I am. where I am. Yeah. Dahlia Sweater by the Knit Girl. And as usual, I didn't have any issues. Her patterns are always good. So far, always well written. Day 8 is the square one project bag by Tony Lipsley. Is it Tony or Tori? Tony Lipsley. Yeah. Originally I wanted to start my first Tunisian crochet project, but then I didn't really have time and the headspace to start something new. And so I started the Square One project bag, which is a free pattern, but you can also, on her blog, but you can also pay for the PDF pattern. It's quite simple. And yeah, I'm using some scraps, parts of single skein, of which I think I won't be needing anymore. Some yarns I get by friends. Then on the bottom, so it's the linen stitch pattern, so it's really simple. Just in US terms, single crochet, chain stitch, single crochet, chain stitch all the way. I extended the bottom and used colors I don't like that much on the bottom, which I got in a swap, but it's a risk. It's just a swap, so it's just some yarn, and I found a way to use it, and then I just continue all the way up until I think it's large enough for me, and so far it's really fun. The rounds are quite long by now, and yeah, this is the current yarn, which I can't remember what it is, which I got in the swap. And then my plan is to continue with this one. And then I got some yarns which I used in a cowl quite some years ago. So this is roughly the plan. And afterwards I add some pinks and maybe some blues. Let's see where I get, how far I get, and how large the bag will be by then. But it's really a nice scrap buster. And I try to leave my perfectionism aside because it's not, the colorways don't match perfectly. Just a scrap bag. Number 9 are the tag knits by YAP Cardigan, which is the same designer as for the pot holders, and those are mitts with tucks. I don't know why I knit this voluntarily because I hate knitting tucks, but my boyfriend always has cold hands, or in winter when he is sitting on the computer, so I told him, yeah, well, I can knit some mitts for you, and had a few ideas what he can have, and he chose this one. Usually, there's you have some stripes in here as well, but he didn't want them, and so I just made the body plain, and then those mitts in between, and was once done except for the ends. And yeah, it's quite a nice pattern. They are quite tight, but that's how you like them. And the yarn is once again Lana Grossa Cotone Mile White Vegano, colorway 14. I'm not quite sure. I heard somewhere that Lana Grossa will stop producing This yarn is one of my favorite sock yarns, so I did a small panic buy last year. So I have a lot of yarn here. I have a lot of sock yarn now. No, I have a lot of Dahlia sock yarn now. I had a lot of sock yarn before. And the colorways are, the contrast colorway is Vegan Yarn UK Play Arts, the Eco colorway, and it was an Advent, a space themed Advent, which was not my favorite colors. I gifted some colorways, and some days I used some for a small project, so I just hope that every now and then I have an idea where I can use it as a contrast or something like that. Yeah. But he likes the colors, so I thought, well, he chose them. If you like them, you get them. So I just swapped these for the tucks. And on the second one, I'm 2 tucks in. So theoretically, if I prioritize this, could be done quite soon. Let's put a stitch marker in here. Maybe this little cat, fox, wolf. I don't know where I got it from. Yeah, so that's. I hope to have this done rather soon than later. And the bag is by Ivy139 on Instagram. She also has her own yarn now. Well, it's woolen yarn, but she's also making these bags, selling them and donating them to a good cause. I think it's an organization to support refugees. Yeah, so I really like this one. I have some more this size. Number 10. So is somewhat yarn of another panic buy. And this is in Kama Cotton by Kremke, so wool, which is 30% cotton, 70% cotton, 30% polyamide. It's a really lovely yarn. It's so nice to knit with. It's the first time I'm using it, and it's really affordable. And I heard or read somewhere they will stop selling the yarn. So I got some sweater quantities last year, and one ball was like €2, and so for sweater quantity I paid like €30, so I could not resist and got 4-5 quantities. Yeah, a bit mad. So that was also another reason why my stash didn't shrink last year. And the pattern I'm knitting is the Fidalgo Cardigan, which I have been eyeing for quite a while, or started at least. By Michelle Frazetta. I think she's an American or Canadian, US American or Canadian, American, North American. And this is a cardigan in broken rib, somewhat. Also, this is a back panel so far. Really lovely to knit. Easy to follow. Yeah, and this is one skein and one ball in. Let's see how it will fit. Obviously, I can't tell anything about it yet, but it's really fun to make. I can really only recommend it so far. And also, if you get some of the yarn, it's really lovely to work with. And I'm using stitch marker by Twin Mountain Handcraft. which I got in my New Year's countdown box bag. Terrapin Fiberworks. I'll be using it for the first time. Yeah, so if you need a cotton, polyamide, whatever mix, recycled cotton and recycled bottles, PT bottles, it's really lovely. And so it's roughly 18 by 26 stitches and rows. Second to last is the spontaneous cast on, which was not part of my original plans, which have anyhow switched somewhat. And this is Rheinlust by Melanie Berg, a shawl, some lace and lots of twisted stitches. And the yarn I'm using is the main color of the 2025 New Year's Countdown by Terrapin Fiberworks, which was, the theme was Bake, I think. Bake? Something like that. And yeah, so far, it's the main colorway. There are some contrast colorways, but which I originally planned to use with the main color. In the box there was 100 gram skein and 5 20 gram skeins, but I really didn't, I wasn't quite sure whether I want to work with them together, and I got from the beginning on 2 skeins so I can make a proper project with it. And it's the colorway Star Baker, and the base is Chesapeake fingering, and it's 100% organic cotton. So this is how far I got. Really nice colors, and even though there are lots of twisted stitches also on the purse side, it's not too bad. It's okay. And let's add a stitch marker here. Progress keeper, whatever. And the last one is a project I've already cast on last year for the 12 cast ons, and then frog because I think I didn't do a gauge swatch, and then it was too small, and then I started it again. No, I started another gauge swatch which also didn't fit, and then I was a bit frustrated, and then this year I swatched again, and now it should be working. And I cast on, once again, the Stick Season Sweater by Rebecca Clow for my boyfriend. I might have to frog. I have to compare it with a sweater outfit that fits him, because maybe I have to add some rows before I do some more increases here. Before I start increasing here for the arms. So I might have to frog a bit. And first I have to measure a different sweater. And the yarn I'm using is quite some wood stash. It's Pasquale Regines in the petrol colorway. It's a recycled cotton and other fibers mix, which shrinks quite a lot, which I like to knit with, but the price got really high. So there are different companies that have not the same, but similar yarn, which is way more affordable. Yeah. And this is how far I got on day one, up to the marker up here. And I made switches now. Yeah, so this is my 12th cast on. And my priorities of Cast Ons are right now the baby blanket I just showed you, and working on the dog bed for a while, at least until I have one side done, and the mitts for my boyfriend. Let's see what I will do in reality, but I hope I do. No. Baby blanket, the mitts for my boyfriend, knitting is on the dog bed, and also the little scarf for my friend. And apart from... So, I didn't work on all of these in February, I worked on some of them in January, and obviously in December when I start casting on, but I didn't touch all of them again. But did not cast on something else. Except for one project. I told myself I won't be doing so many tests. Well, I'm not doing that many tests, but sometimes too many for me. And then I saw this test call by Tori Yu for the Prospect Tea, and said, well, I won't get taken anyhow, so I just signed up. Turns out I got chosen as well. So here I am with my test, which I've cast on this month. And it's the Prospect Tea by Tori Yu, which is a fingering weight t-shirt. She already has a sweater pattern, I think as well. And last year I knit there's a Prospect pullover. Last year I knit the what's the name? Skyline Tea by her, which I really love, especially fit. It was nice to work. I didn't choose a perfect yarn for summer because it's a summer top or t-shirt, and I chose a bamboo linen yarn, and it's quite warm, especially with the bamboo. So I might knit the Skyline Tea again. And the yarn is, this is how far I got. I'm done with the back panel. I did the 2 front parts so far and just connected them. Next I have to knit until a certain length on the front, and then I will connect it to the round, and then I might do the neckline or the arms. Let's see. First I will try to finish the front panel. And the yarn is Candlelight Fingering by Terrapin Fiberworks. I don't have the ball band right now. And the colorway Wordland. And this is one of the reasons why I also like solid hand-dyed yarns, because it's just so beautiful and has so much depth. And I love the color anyhow, because I have some store-bought shirts which are not really suitable to wear anymore outside because there's a wool in them. But I just love this colorway, and I saw it and I could not resist. Yeah. And it's a bit see-through, but I think it's still enough and easy to follow. So far, really well written pattern. She makes you put some markers in the cast on edge, and then you pick up stitch from there on both sides or up to the point. And I think it's the first time in a pattern where the stitch count works up perfectly. It's like, wow, really? Exactly the number as written per pattern, without any doubts. Yeah. Let's put a marker in here. Maybe the Terrapin. So cute. The next 2 projects are already part of my 2026 plans. I respect. One has already been worked on last year and has already been a plan I worked on last year, which is that every Monday I work at least around a row minimum, can be more or at least a certain time depending on the size of the project, on an wood unfinished object. So last year I worked every Monday on my D'Histoire Naturelle cardigan, a blanket, which was a crochet along by Srepius and from, I think, designers Christina Haddering. And once I was done with it, I started working or picking up my Kolding again by Chris Berlin, which is quite a well-known pattern in Germany, at least. I don't know how it's internationally, but there are lots of people that have knit more than one Kolding, or even more than two. The project bag is, by the way, this one, which I got at Berlin Knits last year. It's quite a nice size, and it's by Joana Borges. I think she's Portuguese. I must lie. I don't know. And yeah, this is my Kolding so far. So it's a rib, it's the wrong side. Large shawl, scarf, whatever, with rib, stockinette and brioche. And I'm across, I think this is where I picked it up last year. Somehow here. And I started working on it every Monday. But sometimes it's only a row, sometimes more. And this is a halfway point here. Yeah. And the yarn I'm using is, once again, Terrapin Fiberworks. And this is, I think that's the old label, I'm not quite sure. And this is Monocacy fingering in the colorway Red Bud, and that's boucle cotton. See, that's like boucle. And this is my second to last ball, and then I have one more, and then I hope I'm done. And it's really squishy and warm fabric. I started this not last October, but the one before, with some friends in a small knit along. One of them is already done, and started the second one. We are, the guess is that she will be done with the second one before I will be done with the first one. And the other friend who also started the same pattern, she frogged her version and has to start again as well. So yeah, it's a really lovely pattern. And the rows just take a lot because it's brioche, a long time because it's brioche. And I think I just put a new marker in here. Let's use this. Don't even know where I got this from. Let's put a progress keeper in here. So this is a project I'm working on every Monday. So for quite a while until I'm done. And then I will randomly pick the next one. That's how I did it so far. Always a random pick and then work on it until it's done. And the next project I worked on this month is, as I told you, I have 12. I've been working on the 12 Cast Ons for quite a few years, or at least joined them. And I have quite a few projects left from past years. So I have some from 2023, at least 24, 25, and they are still lingering. So my plan for this year is that for every month I will randomly draw one of the old 12 Cast Ons project, which I still have left, and work on it every Friday for this month. I was debating whether I would work on it until I'm done, but there are some projects which I'm quite far away, some like this blanket I'm showing you in a minute, which I have to work on for quite a bit until it will be done, so it will take a while. And I don't want to have another project I work on once per week until I'm done. So I thought, well, okay, let's do a random pick, and then I work on it for a month, and then I pick the next one. So for the first month it was color work, cowl and hat, which I don't have here right now. You will see it one if I pick it again, maybe. And the next one is from 2024. I think so. And it's a temperature blanket. Let me check that. It's called the Thorough Temperature Blanket 2024, which has been a crochet along by the yarn company Edna, and the pattern is by Sassy Sheep NL, and the Primrose Hexagon Blanket Temperature. And I got the original kit for free, so this is some unpaid, it's an ad, somewhat. It's an ad because I got it for free. And I also already got some more yarn because it was not enough and to finish the blanket. And it's a temperature blanket, which in the original pattern you take the max and min temperature of the day and the average. And what I did, I take the max and min temperature for the place where I live, or roughly, and my mood of the day. So I have my mood, min temperature, max temperature, and yeah, it's all for 2024. So luckily I was reasonable and wrote down all my moods for the complete year. So I only have to add the temperatures for some days. And this is how far I am. So I have no clue yet what I will be doing regarding the edge. I had some more hexagons added, but I mixed something up. I think I added one here, and it has to be added here, and then everything was askew, so I had to crop a few. It was my first move when I picked this up again. Yeah, and so I frogged a bit. Maybe I could add a marker. So this is one. And what I did is, a few of them were already done. Those were the ones I frogged. And I added some hexagons. So now I know how they're working again. Just added a few of them. And the yarn is Svarta Faret Tilda. It's a cotton. Mostly cotton. Cotton acrylic. Cotton. Pure 100% cotton. Same strength roughly as Srepios Katona and those kind of cotton, pressurized cotton yarns. Yeah. So there's no specific goal for this one, just work on it the next 2 Fridays in February and then pick the next project. So those are 2 of my plans for 2026. Work on Mondays on my Kolding and on Fridays on an old 12 Cast Ons project. And yeah, And I have some more plans. Some more plans involve buying less yarn, but I already bought some yarn, which so some of my plans are already a bit let's say unlikely to be working out, because the only vegan yarn shop or online shop I know of, so Earth Yarns, is closing down. So Jess is having a sale and she has like 40% on things. And I was debating for a week because I have enough yarn, but I also wanted to support, and I thought, okay, it's a good bargain. So I ended up buying some yarn. It was on 2.5 kilo, I think. I won't be showing off it. I think I will show it once I work with it, but I can add a picture over here. And I put all the new yarn. There's also one from my New Year's countdown, because I thought, okay, I got it partially at least this year. I put all the yarn that comes in newly this year into one box of my shelf, so I have it in front of me and see what I got, and maybe this keeps me a bit from getting new yarn. So far it did not work as well, because I got some yarn with Earth Yarns, but on the other hand, it was a rare reason, and nonetheless my plan is to buy less and only what I like. So what I'm doing right now is I got the international quarterly yarn subscription from Terrapin Yarns. She has a yarn club, a monthly yarn club, and those will be shipped at least once a quarter, so I don't have shipping costs every month, and I wouldn't have done it. But I like the colorways and could not resist, and it's one skein each month, so it's okay. But I have some plans. So what I just said, on Mondays and Fridays I have these fixed plans to work on at least a row. If I only work on it for a row, it's fine. What I also want to do is, in general, have at least plus minus 0 in my stash. Better would be a negative. I wanted to, for every gram that comes in, I wanted to have knit up or crocheted up 3 grams. So it's 1 in, 3 out. So far, will be quite ambitious, because I got that much yarn from Earth Yarns. What I also want to work or start working on new yarn within 30 days, that's also not possible anymore. But still, if I get something new, I can still try it with new ones, but it won't be something with this yarn. It's okay if I need yarn to finish a project, but in general, I won't be on a complete yarn ban, because it doesn't work for me. If I'm on a ban, it will be even worse. I want to reduce the number of positions in my Ravelry stash, because I have quite a lot of single skeins of yarn, and I want to have it reduced. So that's part of it. I don't even know how far I am right now, but working on the Square One project bag helps a bit, because that's with quite some leftovers, and I already finished some of them. So far with the new board yarn from Earth Yarns, I only increased the number, but in between it was reduced. And what I also did, I randomly selected 3 yarns from a stash, and if they're already part of a project, then I work on that project. If not, I try to find a project to work on and to use up this yarn. So my main goal is, reduce my stash, but it's also an idea to be a bit more creative with finding ideas what to work on, how to work on it. So far I have some Christmas crochet I have worked on. There's one colorway, And my plan is to crochet all those little things with this colorway. And it's a stupid description. My plan, I will show you once I've worked on it again. And then I have some cotton Srebriscadona and some Svarta Faret Tilda to cotton as well, which I want to use up, but I don't really have an idea yet for what to use it for. And once I have used up these 3 yarns, I will pick 3 other yarns. Can be 500 grams of one color or yarn, but can also be a single skein. And one other thing is that I want to do mostly is if I only cast on something new when I finish at least one project. So far, except for the 12 cast ons, it has somewhat worked out. I have, as I said, I have a lot of projects. Usually I don't care too much, but it would be nice to have it at least a bit reduced, which would mean I would finish some things. Yeah, and what else is there? I have a closet that's quite full with yarn, and I have one section, maybe I put in a picture here, let's see, of which I want to empty at least to half of it. Could be that I use some different yarns which are in different sections of the same closet, but nonetheless there will be more space. So that's the plan. And I have made a Make 9, just another try over here. And it's not with fixed projects, but I want to knit a pullover or sweater for my boyfriend, which I started at least. I want to work a project from book. I'd like to work on a colorwork sweater, work on a project with Edwin yarn, finish one of the older 12 cast ons, finish a blanket. That will be done quite soon with the baby blanket. Want to finish a top or shirt, which will be most likely the prospect tee. Knit something with cables or stripes, and finish one of the 12 cast ons 2026. Which could also be the blanket. So I would have 2 out of 9, would be nice. Yeah, those are my rough plans, ideas. It's ambitious as usual, but well, it's an idea. Yeah. And I already said I've separated the new yarn to keep an eye on it, and I will share it once I work on it. Because it might also be maybe it's not a fixed plan, but if I start something new, use some yarn from the newer ones, and after that use some older yarn, so switch it up and also get going with the new yarn and also use some older yarns and don't have such a large increase and keep the shelf, the number of yarn on the shelf reduced and don't have that big increase, hopefully. Yeah, new yarns I will show you later. And yeah, what else? I got this for my boyfriend for our annual anniversary. So I already have the first book, but then I said, there's a new book, and I didn't impulse buy it right away, and then for our anniversary my boyfriend gifted me this one. Was the last one he got in Berlin, so it was really cute. Yeah, and I don't know yet what I would work on, but it is usually really colorful and lovely, and I like summer leaves patterns, and I think I could be using one of these patterns for day 1 of my 12 cast ons, to use a pattern I already own. Yeah, that's it. I hope I didn't forget anything. I hope it didn't last too long. If so, no, I'm not really sorry. It's your choice if you want to watch it. Yeah. that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any plans for your year of knitting or crochet or any other fabric crafts, or do you have some similar goals? Do you have some goals that really worked well for you, or what are you working on? Let me know in the comments if you would like to. And thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time, which will be hopefully once a month. It could be realistic. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye.